It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New York Giants and the Los Angeles Chargers. And it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
From the West Coast, we're coming to you live from the NFL's newest and the world's most expensive stadium. State-of-the-art SoFi here in Inglewood, California. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over him for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Here to begin this one is Cameron Dicker. And here we go from LA. Starting from the 5. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. So out come the Giants, their first drive of the game coming up. They'll be led out by this promising young signal caller, already a starter in his first season out of Ole Miss.
Kate, when I watch these rookie quarterbacks running out to open a game, I think of the old World Series great pitcher Cliff Lee. And he made a one-handed play in the World Series and was asked about it afterwards. They said, man, how do you have so much poise? You didn't even look nervous on that stage. And he said, sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. You got to tell yourself you'll be just fine. And these rookie QBs, that's part of the learning curve they're climbing.
On the handoff, this is Tracy. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior, 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. They're throwing it. He finds Jaxson. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
From the 48. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Complete beyond the marker. And they make the tackle at the 38. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
New set of downs for him at the 38. They'll throw it again. Connects with Jaxson. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
On these 1st and 10 calls, defenses are always keyed in that a run might be coming their way. And as soon as the QB turned to give the ball, the entire defense came crashing in to bury them for a loss.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finds his target, Robinson. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line.
good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason this is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Here's a throw. He has the first over the middle. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. A nice gain of 8 there, and that brings them to 1st and goal.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Tracy. And he's going to advance them down to the 4-yard line. 6 yards from there. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Still chances to get these final 4 yards. It's 2nd and goal. Throwing from the gun. Has it in close. Touchdown, New York! Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
Graham Gano to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Gano ready to send this away. Darius Davis to return it. This return makes it up to the 25. So now out comes the Charger offense for their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by someone known for putting up numbers since he entered the league back in 2020, the Oregon product, Justin Herbert.
True story. First time I saw Justin Herbert at a Pac-12 Media Days, I thought, that can't be Justin Herbert. That guy looks like a defensive lineman. He is massive. But then you watch him play and you realize he's one of those 6'5", 6'6" guys that's the athlete of a 6'2". The way that he moves so effortlessly, the way that rocket arm can throw the ball all over the field. Been hyper productive statistically. Kind of like that Fouts guy that wore the lightning bolt before him. On any given Sunday, this guy can put on a show.
He's got a gain of 6 there. Bobby Okereke making that stop.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
2nd and 4. It's caught. That's Mike Williams. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
First down, ball at the 36. On the carry, this is Najee Harris. He's going to snag a couple of yards charging up the gut. Brian Burns coming up with the stop. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Option design here. And he's hit at the line of scrimmage. The run outside returns nothing. No gain on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 7.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Herbert from the gun. Finds McConkey. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. 16 yards on the play. And it brings up an LA first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
They've got to like how they've been moving it early here. It's down to the opposing 45-yard line. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's got this down to the 40. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Got Williams, and it's complete. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And the Chargers will have a first.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
From the pistol, it's Herbert. It's into the hands of Will Dissly. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. It's a pickup of 11. And it brings up an LA first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Working inside the red zone. Finds the in route complete. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And with 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
They motion the tight end over. Herbert throwing again. Has it down close. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. Now after making that catch, we see he's shaken up. Trainer's heading out to take a look. They've set themselves up well for an opening drive touchdown here, Brock. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. We'll take it in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers finish off their opening drive. No doubt about that one, Brock. They softened that defense up with that lengthy opening series, and then the front just couldn't stand up to the run as they reached the end zone.
Yeah, the numbers tell you, kind of just like baseball, you love home runs, you love explosive plays, but when you can play small ball and you can keep that defense gasping on the field, you can often run it right down their throats in the red zone.
They can go to the locker rooms tied if they put this through. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chargers start off well to tie things 7-7. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Gray now on the return. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And that'll put him up across the 35-yard line as they begin the series. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. We're back to SoFi right after this. Welcome back. We'll begin this second quarter with the Giants in possession. They'll get to work here, 1st and 10. They go play action on first. Throwing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Running back sent in motion. 2nd and 10 now. Gets this to Slayton. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Putting the tight end in motion. The throw left side finds Johnson. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
First down, ball at the 36. A handoff to Tracy. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
2nd down now, 7 to go. He'll look to throw. Gets this to Johnson. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Tulipulotu in for the tackle.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight ends short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
3rd and 4 coming up now. Throwing off the play fake here. Throwing deep for the end zone. And that one hits the deck. No fear from them trying to go deep on 3rd down. You love that. Don't love the fact they couldn't connect. 4th down coming up.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
On 4th down, we'll see Graham Gano lead the Giants field goal unit out. From the right hash, it's a 47-yarder. The kick by Gonzalez is good. And that's going to break our tie and give him a 3-point advantage.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here comes Davis. He's stopped on the return at the 27. So the LA offense getting out there for their second drive. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
No one picks him up, and he reminded everyone in the building why that's a major mistake. The linebacker's athleticism on full display. A sack in under 2 seconds? That's a select group of players on the planet who could pull that off.
All right, here we go. Second down. Give now to the running back. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Micah McFadden able to make the play.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Herbert now. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
So on 4th down, here's J.K. Scott on to punt it away for the Chargers. Breaks the tackle, still going. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. That punt gets up to 59 yards. And it'll be Giants football. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. And they were able to contribute 3 points to the lead their last time out. Another chance to build on that advantage here. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. To throw here on 1st down. Catch made, Tyrone Tracy.
We've heard it said, and I believe it to my core, football is the ultimate team sport. And a well-run screen like that is the ultimate team play because it takes all 11 doing their job.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. That's a short gain of 1. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No 3rd down required now.
Throwing from the gun here. Got a man. Robinson has it. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Play action on 1st down. Taking a big shot for the end zone. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And now it's 2nd down.
You know, down here in the red zone where there's a touchdown on the line, you really want to read the quarterback's eyes as a defender. Make sure you know where that throw is going and get in position to swat it away. That is well done.
A give to Tracy up the middle. Works his way to the 35. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
First down from the red zone. And he hauls it in for the New York touchdown. The Giants make it a 9-point advantage. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position can be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
Gano for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Giants make it a 10-point ball game. Gano ready to send this away. Has this at the 6. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Out comes the offense now for the Chargers. They're down 10 partway through this one. Score is 17-7. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They go play action. Here's Herbert. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll try and run this. And he protects himself with a slide there after a decent gain.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play. And denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
From the 34. Escapes the pocket. He'll work it a couple yards past the line. Bobby Okereke making that stop.
Just not much to do right there, whether he wanted to run it or throw it. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win for this defense.
Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. They'll try and pick this up on the ground. And he's brought down for a loss.
3rd and inches, and you hate to see that run go backwards. I just take myself back to a huddle, and you know you're imploring your guys, listen, just give us a little bit of a push and we will move the sticks. Instead, well, the defense is energized with that stop.
The defense calls a timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. The Chargers lined up in punt formation. And this is the 2nd time he's been brought on to kick it. Got 46 on his first punt, and this one's pushing a little more distance. Fair catch, hauled in at the 18-yard line. So no return on that punt. And they'll get ready to go on offense. The Giants about to get to work on offense. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Man there, it's Malik Neighbors. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. He's got him. That's Tracy. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
To throw it on 1st down. That one's incomplete. Couldn't connect.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. They are throwing it again. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete. Malik Neighbors, the one he was throwing for. So they're left facing third and long.
They would sure love to connect on some of these intermediate throws, those chunk throws. Getting a completion like that, well, not only does it spark your offense, but it just sets you up for even more aggressive play calling.
Here he is on third and long. He lofts it deep left. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
The Giants readying to punt, and they're going to send out the lefty, Jamie Gillen, for the kick. And he calls for the fair catch, and he's got it at the 14-yard line. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And the Chargers are going to take over deep in their own territory. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now Herbert to throw. Couldn't connect across the middle. It's an incomplete pass.
Hey, I know nobody's perfect, and all you have to do is listen to me and how many words I screw up. But you certainly expect those throws of that length to be 100%. They've got to be borderline automatic in this offense.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Back to the air. Herbert. That throw finds Conklin. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
Chargers hurrying to the line as the seconds tick away. Throwing it just before halftime. Conklin brings it in. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Brought down by Paulson Adebo. So we're at halftime with one side enjoying a pretty decent 10-point advantage. Now we'll go coast to coast. Jonathan Coachman standing by in our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our 3rd quarter. Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here comes Davis. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Here come the Chargers for their first drive of the second half. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Herbert. Dump off caught by his back. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Going to Harris to start the half. Crosses midfield, still going. And he's all the way down to the 36. It's a gain of 29 yards. And the Chargers will have a 1st.
Kate, that's the type of run that shines the light well on him as a runner, of course, But you got to give a lot of credit to everybody else. Those skill guys, when you have an outside run, they got to do their job. Not just the big boys up front, not just the running backs. That takes everyone on the perimeter blocking to get a big run like that.
1st and 10, Herbert bails out of the pocket quick. He can run it. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Here's Herbert, 1st and 10. Cut at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
Every tight end worth his salt wanted this. Really craved man-to-man coverage. The best of them, give me man-to-man coverage, and I'm going to beat you. I was around Dallas Clark and Indy, one of the best. You play man-to-man, he's going to find a way to out-leverage you, separate from you, and make a play just as that time.
It's an LA touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Dicker on now for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chargers cut it to a field goal game. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. This return starts at the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now here comes the New York offense. That lead already smaller than it was at the break, Brock, and they're going to face a little pressure now on this opening series. They're out and set, 1st and 10. A give right side to Tracy. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
2nd and 3 now. Off the play fake, he'll throw. That one's cut along the left sideline. And he's out of bounds after getting across the 45. They strike for 23 yards. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
They go play action on 1st. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught. 1st time this game they've looked to him. So 2nd down coming up.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. They send a man in motion. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. And they had that one contained right at the line. Brought down on the effort by Derwin James. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
3rd and long for him here. This is complete to Neighbors. And that will not be enough for a 1st down.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
On 4th down, we'll see Graham Gano lead the Giants field goal unit out. He was good on his first kick. Gonna need to hit this one well to go 2 for 2. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that'll double their lead to 6.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Gano ready to send this away. Kickoff taken at the 3. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Chargers and wide receiver Ladd McConkey set for another drive. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Herbert from the gun. He's got Harris. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. 1st and 10, here's Herbert. And this one too far in front of him, it's incomplete.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting the completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
Couldn't connect on 1st, it's 2nd down. Now Herbert again. Has him on the quick hitter. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Bobby Okereke making that stop. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Hits him on the in route. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Here's the handoff. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
2nd and 3 now. Herbert now off the play fake. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and they hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused, and they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a fourth down.
So on fourth down, on comes Cameron Dicker and the Chargers for a field goal try. He's got to drive this one 53 yards down the middle. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that cuts the lead in half, down to 3.
I know they love that golf adage, drive for show, putt for dough, but it's awfully nice to drive for show and to have that kind of weapon in your back pocket.
Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Return starts at the 3. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Giants headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Trying the right side with Tracy. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Shotgun snap. They're going to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, let's give some credit to the defense here, Kate, right? We talk about explosive plays. Every offense is looking for them. But when a defense can go back-to-back, Jack, with a tackle for loss and a sack, well, they're more than doing their job.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. Back to throw now. Has a hole left, room to run. Into the red zone. He will go. Touchdown, New York. The Giants lengthen the lead at the end of the 3rd. Malik Neighbors with a touchdown. That score was less about the throw, although it was good, partner, but it was more about getting it to somebody who knew exactly what to do with it.
Well, Kate, it's a good thing the touchdown shows up on both their stat sheets, because sometimes, well, it's quarterback who delivers, and sometimes it's the effort after the catch that really makes the magic happen.
Gano for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Giants make it a 10-point ball game. Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here comes Davis. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Chargers offense getting set to take over. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Gets this to McConkey. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
1st and 10 from the 41. Play action now for Herbert. Into the hands of Conklin.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was 1st down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
A very active quarter for us. Plenty of points in that frame as we reach the end of 3. The Chargers have the ball, and they're going to need to score. They come in trailing. Offense to the line for 2nd down. Motioning the tight end left. Here's 2nd and 11. Caught by his back. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
5 men in the secondary for the G-men now, ahead of 3rd down. It's Herbert once more. Dumped off to his running back. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. That one ends up a gain of 6. And it brings up an LA 1st down.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Gets everything he has under this throw. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Herbert to throw once more. Makes the grab in bounds left side. It's a pickup of 26. And the Chargers will have a 1st.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. On the play fake, it's Herbert. Flushed out of the pocket. He's keeping it. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Now Herbert to throw. This one's caught. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. Following that completion, medical staff headed out for an injured player. We'll see what the nature of his injury is. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Now a give left side. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. He gets another shot here. And he's in for the touchdown. The Chargers making a 4-point game here in the 4th. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with 1 end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get 1, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal would tie this game in the 4th. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Gray now on the return. His return gets him to the 32-yard line before he's taken down. The Giants are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this 2nd half. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. From the gun, it's Tracy. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Here's Tracy once more. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to leave him with 3rd and 3. They'll try and throw it here. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll be out of bounds at his own 45. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Pass play on 1st and 10. The throw left side, caught by Neighbors. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. 1st and 10, looking to throw. Throwing this back in the end zone. That's incomplete for the moment. We do have a flag down, but it might not be good news for their offense. That's usually where we see holding calls. You got a major fistful of jersey on that play, and it's going to end up costing them. Double the distance to go after that holding call. It's now 1st and 20. They'll run here following the penalty. And he drives into a pile of defenders and is stopped right at the line. No gain, and things looking a lot tougher for them now with 2nd and 20.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. He'll throw it. Connects with Slayton. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. He's back to throw. He's going to loft one deep to the left. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
The Giants are set to punt. And he's getting the call for the 2nd time this game. Now this one, not much of a chance of it staying in the field of play. They'll mark it out at the 13-yard line. The Chargers and this running back headed back out for a new series. And his performance has ailed against what has been a very stout defensive front. This hasn't been a contest to stack up there among his better showings, partner. They've made it real difficult to find any holes to hit, and there's been absolutely no space for him to work with. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Throwing now, Herbert. He's on the move. He'll step up, and there he goes.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Running this one left. Jukes one defender. A nice run here past the 35. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got 1st down.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Herbert on 1st down. Finds McConkey. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. It's the 2-minute warning here in L.A. Chargers trail by a field goal. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Herbert from the gun. That could be it, folks. It's intercepted. Devon Holland comes up with it. And this one may be out of reach now because the defense comes through with 6. Defense getting in on the fun, Brock, with that 4th quarter lead as they provide a nice little boost there with the pick 6.
Yeah, you could feel some of the desperation of this offense, and when you get into that mode, it is danger time. Defenses love to take advantage of it. I always say to you, Kate, play fast but never in a hurry. You can't be rushed offensively because you can often be rushed into mistakes like that.
Gano for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Giants make it a 10-point ball game. A quick chance at redemption after that pick 6 as it's sent away. He fields it from the 8. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Charger offense making its way to the field. And they didn't have much time to recover from that pick 6. Need short memories here as they head back out. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Herbert back to it after the pick. Gets this one to Harris. And he'll go down, we'll say right at the 39-yard line. Timeout called by the Chargers, their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first. Need to work as quick as you can here, Brock. 2 timeouts left, down 2 scores. It's 1st down. Here's Herbert. That throw finds Conklin. And he'll be brought down a step or 2 shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Chargers hurrying to the line as the seconds tick away. 2nd and 1. He's got Harris. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays in the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
Throwing on first is Herbert. Has him on the quick hitter. And they bring him down around the 34. LA uses a timeout here. It's 2nd. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Herbert throwing again. Fits it through the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a 31-yard play, and that gives them 1st and goal.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Just need 2 more yards that they couldn't get on that last play. Here's 1st and goal. And that one's incomplete, but boy, are they lucky it wasn't intercepted. That was a risky shot, but fortunately, they still have 2nd down coming up.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, he just couldn't quite hang on.
Now Herbert again. Forced, and he hits the end zone. Touchdown! I hope nobody left early, Brock, because we have still got a game. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise, and in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down, and when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal would tie this game in the 4th. As we approach the final half-minute of play, their comeback hopes resting on recovering this kick. And the Giants come up with that kick. They're going to hold on for the victory in this one. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. The Giants and Tyrone Tracy are running back on now. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they've placed upon him. Into the victory formation they go, Brock, here on first down. The Giants take a knee here, running out the final seconds to their victory. The Chargers call a timeout. That's their last one. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. A kneel down here, and they can start to celebrate this win. With the win in hands, they'll take the knee, let this clock run out.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
After one final kneel down, partner, and this should do it. So the Giants come away with the win. This is the type of game everyone was hoping they'd see when they entered this stadium, Brock, you and I included. A close one that went all the way down to the final whistle.
And Kate, this is one of the bigger adjustments a college player has to make to the NFL. In college, you get a lot of blowouts. The NFL, every game you get calloused because you know more often than not they'll be like this, a one-possession game that's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish.
So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. It's a well-earned win for the Giants as we say goodbye from Los Angeles.